Hi, I'm Greg, and we are in the entranceway to Star Trek: The Starfleet Academy Experience. It's a perfect mashup of STEAM that we've been talking about. STEAM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math, is quite important. One of the main reasons is that a lot of jobs now are going STEAM-focused or STEM-focused. But STEAM is very important because it adds the A in there, so it adds art. Traditionally it's been STEM, but art makes it all a bit more accessible. But it's important to teach our kids and even adults this foundation.
I'm really excited for Star Trek: The Starfleet Academy Experience to come here and bring all the STEAM fields together. You'll get to see how engineering is used in the transporters and do some phaser tests and see the medical devices that were used on Star Trek, the TV shows.
It is science fiction, which is obviously part of the arts, but it's really heavily focused on the science. So there's a lot of technologies we have today that are inspired directly from Star Trek. So it's not just signs and props and that sort of thing. There are some of that as well, but it's exciting because it's very hands-on. So you'll actually get to speak Klingon and the computer will tell you how good of a job you did.
Medical training, you get to test your phaser skills, you get to go through a transporter.
So there are a lot of interactive things that obviously play with Star Trek, but are also cool skills that you can test your hand at.
You know, schools, libraries play an absolutely critical role, obviously, in the whole kind of spectrum of learning. I think science centers, though, are just an incredible complement to those sorts of learning organizations. I think a lot of that comes from the unstructured environment. So I think by necessity, those organizations create a structured environment. I think that's important and right that they do that. I think those learners can then come into this environment and apply some of what they may have learned, discover, again, in a very self-guided kind of a way. They can be inspired, they can work with, play with whatever they want, and in doing so, learn in a really unbounded kind of way. First and foremost, people are going to have a ton of fun, whether they're fans or new to the show. I think there's going to be some self-discovery. I think learning experts would call that metacognition, so I think people will leave with a bit of an understanding around what sort of Starfleet officer they would be, and maybe that will inspire them to think differently about their career, educational path, so some self-awareness, I think, will be built.
In Star Trek, you see STEAM happening on every episode, and I'm sure in every day of their life on the starship. So as a nonprofit, TELUS Spark tries to inspire the next generation of learners by bringing them in and showing them remarkable innovations and having them get hands-on solving problems to build their confidence to solve the problems of the future.